Hey everyone, so in the previous video we learned how to create the basic templates and files that are required to be able to activate a theme within WordPress. Now what we want to do is we want to actually make them work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to link up our header and our footers to our main templates. So to do that, let's go to our front page.php, and as you could probably remember in the previous video, this came up. We typed in this is a front page and it worked. So yeah, it's not there anymore, but I'll put there. This is the front page. Save, refresh, and as you can see, it works. Okay. So what if we go and inspect or view the source of the page? It's just plain text. We don't want that to come up like that. We obviously want a header. We want the HTML scaffolding with the meta tags and the title and all that sort of stuff. And as you probably know, if you've developed websites before, especially dynamic websites, you try to keep the header and the footer as separate entities so that if you have 1,000 pages and you need to update a little thing on your header or your footer, then you don't have to update every one of those 1,000 pages. You would just edit one file which will reflect on every single page that includes that file. And that's pretty much how it works with WordPress. So let's go to our front page PHP. We'll save that, get rid of that text we had there before. And you'll notice that in the previous video, we created those templates, but we didn't include some other ones, and I completely forgot. So let's just go new file and save header.php and save another one called footer.php. That was very amateur. That was amateur hour from my end, so I'm sorry about that. So now that we've got header and footer, what we can do is we can firstly go into our front page and we want to include the header in our front page. So we'll just do PHP get header. Okay, and that is a function that WordPress has which automatically knows to grab a file called header.php. So it needs to be called header.php. So if I save that and then I go into my header and I type this is the header and save it, go into our project, and as you already know, it's loading the front page file, right? Refresh it, you'll see this is the header comes up. And then what we can do is we can copy that, paste it at the bottom and do get footer. And that is automatically that's a function in WordPress again, which automatically knows to look for a file in your theme called footer.php. So let's type this is a footer here, or this is the footer. And refresh and go to our front page and refresh now. And as you can see, this is the header and this is the footer. So let's now let's delete that text we've put in there. Now in a typical header, what do we put? We put an HTML scaffold. So what we'll do is we'll do HTML, and in Sublime Text we can do :5 and press tab. And what that will do is it will automatically create an HTML5 scaffold for us. So what we'll do is we will keep the top half there and we will keep it up to body, and then we'll take out the closing body and HTML tags and put that in footer.php. So if we now go into our front page, it's going to be blank, but if we look at our source, you'll see that it has the header and it has the footer there. Okay. Now, as I mentioned at the end of the previous video, we want to be able to enqueue our style sheets. So whenever you create a theme, you want to have style sheets and JavaScript associated with that theme so that you can customize it however you'd like. So to do that, we take advantage of the WordPress function that includes style sheets within our theme. And what we will do is we will use a function called WP head and WP footer. And what that is it basically injects WordPress functions.php within our header and footer. It's almost like a hook. So in our functions.php, we will say, we will tell it that we want a style sheet, and then what will happen is functions.php will automatically inject it into our header or to our footer. The reason why we do that is because in WordPress, as you probably know, we have a lot of plugins that we can use. And in order for those plugins to work properly, they need this code to be in our theme. So what we can do within our header.php, we can do PHP WP underscore head. Oops, not header, head. And then we go to our footer, and right at the bottom, just before our closing body tag, we will do PHP WP footer. And I'm going to open up this in a incognito window so we can see how it works. So if we open it up, it's still blank, but if we view the source of the page, you'll notice now we have all of the text, all the header HTML scaffolding we had before, but we also have all of this stuff. As you can see, it's automatically injected WordPress's CSS and JavaScript that it needs to run. And you'll probably notice now, if we get out of incognito, that when we refresh our project, the WordPress admin bar will start showing. So there we go. The WordPress admin bar has started showing. So that means that we have correctly set up our head and our footer functions, or our hooks. So with that being done, now we can add our own CSS and our JavaScript. So what we want to do now is we want to go back into our code editor and go into our functions.php. Now to enqueue style sheets into our project, we just need to create a hook, and that hook is going to hook into WP head, and it's going to then add those style sheets in there. So yes, you could just go into header.php and you could just do link href style.css rel equals style sheet. That's fine. You can do that. Well, it's actually not fine. It's not the proper way to do things when you create a WordPress theme, because technically that should all be dynamically generated. So let's not do that. And let's go into our functions.php and open up our PHP tags. And the first thing we want to do is create a function. So we'll create a function called, we'll just call it load CSS. And inside this function, what we're going to do is we're going to do something called WP, this is a function, register style. And what we need to do is we need to put in a couple of arguments within there so that WordPress knows what this file is. The first argument we're going to put is the name of our style sheet. So you can call it whatever you want. But in this case, we're going to be installing Bootstrap. So before we even get to that, we should probably get Bootstrap and put it into our folder structure. So let's just go into Chrome and we'll do a search for Bootstrap on Google. If you don't know what Bootstrap is, it's just a CSS scaffolding framework. It makes it really easy to build responsive websites. So we're on the Bootstrap website and the current is 4.3.1 and we're just going to download it. So it's going to download the compiled CSS and JavaScript. Now that we've downloaded it, we'll open up the zip file and we can see the CSS and the JS. So essentially what you can do is go into your folder, into your theme folder, not into WordPress folder. So you need to go through to WP content, themes, my theme, and drag CSS into that folder. And then also, let's make this a bit smaller so you can see it, drag the JS into there as well. And while we're there, we can just create a folder called images, and that could be something we can put any images that we have associated with our theme as well. So now that we have our CSS with Bootstrap in it and our JavaScript folder with Bootstrap in it, let's go back into our theme code editor and we're going to register something called Bootstrap. You can call it whatever you want, as I said before, but we're just going to call it Bootstrap so we know what it is. And then we need to tell WordPress where the file is that we want to load. So in this case, we're going to be loading the Bootstrap style sheet. So, you can't just do, CSS bootstrap.min.css because Bootstrap doesn't know where this CSS folder is. We need to tell it the path to go to be able to access it. And WordPress gives us a handy function to do that, which is get template directory URI. And that is a function which basically will tell WordPress the the root path to get to that style sheet. And then we need to do a dot, which will separate PHP from standard text. And we will then do CSS and then / bootstrap.min.css. So basically it is pointing to the CSS folder and bootstrap.min.css. You would use the .min.css because that is the smaller version. It's a minified version of Bootstrap. And it will just save you loading time. Minuscule, but it will still save you. Okay. And then the third option, the third argument we need to add in is a list of dependencies. Now, a dependency is basically another style sheet that this style sheet may depend on. You usually don't have any dependencies with style sheets. If you did, then you can put it in there. And please forgive me, I am looking at my other screen because you'll realize this in future as well, that you can't possibly remember everything. So I'm just looking at the theme developer docs so I can see what these arguments are. So yeah, this is for dependencies. So if you don't have any dependencies, which you probably wouldn't, you can just do array, okay? And then the fourth argument, just do a comma. The fourth argument is the version. So you can create it whatever you want. You don't even need to have a version. You could just do false if you want to. So we'll just do false. And then the last is media. Now with media, if you've ever done a responsive website, there are media rules, so media queries. And you can also create style sheets which are for print only and all that sort of stuff. But in this case, we are just going to do all. And then we just close off that function. Okay, so we have registered the style now, and then we just need to enqueue it. So we just do WP enqueue style. Now just be careful with the spelling of enqueue because a lot of people have been caught out on that. So WP enqueue style. And we will then tell it to enqueue Bootstrap, which is obviously referring to this name. So now that we have our function, we need our function to run and to hook itself into the header. To do that, we do add _action, which is outside of our function, by the way. And we call the action, which is WP enqueue. Watch the spelling with enqueue. Scripts. And then we are going to tell it to load this function. So we'll put the function name there and save it. So if we go back into our project and refresh it, it's still blank. But if we go to our view page source, you'll notice that Bootstrap is now there. As you can see, it is located there. So if we click into it, Bootstrap loads. Fantastic. Now we want to load Bootstrap JavaScript. So it's kind of the same thing, but we'll create another function for our JavaScript. So we'll do function load _JS. And then inside there, we're going to run a different function. It's going to be WP register, so WP _register, and then _script. And then there are some dependencies there. So I'm just going to go to the developer handbook to explain to me what they are so I can then forward that on to you. Just bear with me for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so again, the first thing we need to do is call it something. So we're going to call it Bootstrap JS. Yeah, we'll just call it Bootstrap JS. And then what we want to do, actually you can just call it Bootstrap as well because it's actually in a different function. It doesn't really matter. So we'll just call it Bootstrap again. Then we need to tell the system where it is. So we'll copy this from the other function. And then we'll do dot and then JS. And then we'll just go to our theme folder and we'll have a look where it is. So what it's called bootstrap.min.js. So basically just do JS bootstrap.min.js. Cool. And then comma, and then we need to say the dependencies. So with Bootstrap, the dependency for that would be jQuery. So we could do jQuery there because WordPress automatically ships with the latest, well, not the latest version of jQuery, but it has something called jQuery, and then it uses something called jQuery migrate, which is like a patch which helps you use plugins or jQuery plugins that require a newer version of jQuery. It's all done so that it has back compatibility for plugins. So yeah, so Bootstrap requires jQuery. So that means that it will automatically load Bootstrap after jQuery. And then the version, we don't need a version. And then the last one is in footer. Now in footer, it's asking if we want it to actually display in the footer or the header. If you put false, it's automatically going to put the Bootstrap JavaScript in the header of your theme, but we don't want that. We want it to be in the footer, so we'll do true. Okay, and let's now go into our theme and refresh it, and we'll go view source, and you'll notice at the footer of our project, hopefully, let's just do a search for it, bootstrap.min.js. Oh, okay, so it's not even coming up at all. So, and this is probably good this happened because we created the function, but we didn't add the action. So we need to add the action as well. So the action is, we'll do it underneath here as well, add action, and then we'll do WP_enqueue scripts again, and then we'll do load_JS. Okay, so that's done. Now if we go and refresh, let's do a search for bootstrap.min.js, and again it's still not coming up, so I'm just trying to think of what I'm doing incorrectly here. Okay, so okay, again, silly again. We've done WP register script, and then underneath that we need to do WP enqueue script. Like the top we did enqueue style, we need to do enqueue script. And then we're just going to do Bootstrap as well, because that is the name of the script. That's what we called it. Save, refresh, and let's go and look in our code here and see if we can find bootstrap.min.js. And as you can see here in the footer, there we go, bootstrap.min.js. Okay. If you look at the top of our project, you will see bootstrap.min.css. Fantastic. Now, as I mentioned earlier, WordPress automatically includes jQuery in your WordPress theme. However, we still need to enqueue it. As you can see in the code here, we have bootstrap.js, but there's no jQuery here. So if we do a search for jQuery, nothing comes up. So to include it into our theme, all we need to do is go into our code editor, and inside the load.js function, before any of the other scripts, we just do WP enqueue script and then do jQuery. And WordPress automatically knows what jQuery is because the files are already stored in WordPress. So you don't need to import or save jQuery's files in your JS folder or anything like that because it's already installed on WordPress. So if we refresh that now, you'll notice that in our header, jQuery will be there with jQuery migrate.min.js. And as I said before, this is all done so that plugins that use older versions of jQuery still work, and plugins that use newer versions still work. So it's all about back compatibility. Okay, so we have successfully enqueued Bootstrap into our theme. We've also put the JavaScript of Bootstrap in our theme, and we have jQuery now working in our theme. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make content come up on all the pages. So for example, on the edit page section, you can add in your content into this box here. You hit update, and then it should display on your pages. Let's do that in the next video. See you then.